All right, and welcome to another late edition of JD's Deep Cut Sunday Tracks, where again we are going to delve into older bands, older songs that have been lost through the cracks, like I've said a few times before. Um, Kind of a different layout here, doing it from remotely from another location. Um, just want to show off my recent purchase of the shelf for the records. Kind of doing, brainstorming here on how I'm going to do the labor of love, transferring some of the records to the shelves here, to the squares. I'm sure these were made especially for LPs, as you can see the size. All right. So on today's episode, we are going to talk about a kind of an all-star band. Session musicians along with the star player. Okay. Really good history on this band that was formed in 1970. The tenure was very short, as they all had their careers, but it's very interesting how they came about, and the albums and stuff. And I'm going to do it on one of their rare albums, very rare, very obscure album, Derek and the Dominoes. Okay, I'm sure you've heard that name on classic rock radio. Derek and the Dominoes was Eric Clapton's brainchild. Okay, he formed this band, like I said, short-lived, in 1970. They had one album, okay, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs. That was their album. I'm not showcasing that album today or that song, again, because we know this is all about deep cuts, right? Deep cuts, obscure bands, okay? But yeah, Derek and the Dominoes came about because of, Eric Clapton was working, with George Harrison doing the Bangladesh, a concert. And all the musicians on this band were part of that concert. They all played in that concert. All Things Must Pass too. They did play on that album, and they played live on the Bangladesh, tribute or charity concert. Okay, album I'll be showcasing today will be Derek and the Dominoes in concert. Okay, this album came out in 1973. Actually recorded at the Fillmore East in 1970, October 24th. Really, really interesting there. Okay, great album. One of the better live albums. Okay, really cool gatefold here. As you can see, Eric Clapton, the star there. Okay, young. I think this was released during the time he was doing his first album. His first album was released in 1970. And this was recorded a couple months after, August, I think, of 1970. Okay, there you go. Really, really great. This is a really, really good album. I like this album because the songs are like average time 12, 13 minutes long. Kind of like a jam, like a jam rock session. Okay, so really, really good. Got to Get Better in a Little While. Check that song out on this album, and I'll put the link there. Okay, but Got to Get Better in a little while. Layla wasn't on here. Okay, but yeah, this is a great live album. Sounds great. Really good recording. I know they've done some remasters, but this is the original LP. It's a double album. Okay, yeah, this is a really good album. Okay, double album, 2 songs on each side. Just goes to show how long each song is. And we got side 1, 2 songs. Side 2 is interesting because it has Let It Rain, which was on his debut album. It's about a 5-minute song here. It's an 18-minute song here. Okay, and yeah, two songs on each side. So check this album out. It's really, really interesting. Okay, really good too. They call it an English American band. I like to call them an American English band because you had three of the members were American, from the South, and Eric Clapton, of course, the British man, the English man. Okay, so yeah, live at the Fillmore East, one of the better live albums. And like I mentioned earlier, the bass player, Carl Radle, Jim Gordon on drums. They were session musicians. They had previously worked with Delaney and Bonnie. That's another great act if you get a chance. They should get more mentions because that was a really, really good band in the 70s. Delaney and Bonnie was like an Americana soul rock. Really, really good. Get a chance to check them out. Bobby Whitlock was the piano keyboard on this album. Really good musician. He was part of the Bangladesh concert, played on it with George Harrison. So, you had some great musicians here on this album. And like I said, they only released one album, the Layla and the other Assorted Love Songs. That was the only album, probably because of their busy schedules, But that's a good album. But this live album is really good because of the jam rock songs, such long songs, and the sound. The sound is great. Derek and the Dominoes, interesting, because if you read on their history, nobody's name was Derek. There was no Dominoes. He just called the other guys the Dominoes. But the piano player from the George Harrison All Things Must Pass, he's the one who came up with the idea of the band name to Eric. And I believe he said Dell first, Dell and the Dynamics or something. But I guess, their English accent must have been a part of this, that they understood Dell as Derek and Dynamics as Dominoes or something. So, someone said Dominoes, yeah, that's good. So it stayed at Derek and the Dominoes. Pretty good history behind that if you get a chance to read that a little bit more in depth, okay? But yeah, all these guys were session musicians, that played on previous albums. I think they played with Sam and Dave as well. So he knew what he was looking for. Didn't get some mediocre musicians there. He got some pretty good band there that he made. Okay, so check that song out. Check that song. Got to Get Better in a Little While. It's a really good song. Doesn't get any airplay, of course. It wasn't a single. Tell the Truth was a single, I believe, from the first Layla, their first album. Okay, but yeah, I mentioned Delaney and Bonnie. I'll do an epi on these guys later, but this was the band that Carl, Jim, and Bobby Whitlock played as well, and George Harrison had a brief stint on with Delaney and Bonnie as well. But you got to check them out. This is a great duo band. They're really good. Okay, they did an album, a live album as well, which is pretty good. With Eric Clapton was touring with them through Europe. Okay, so if you get a chance, check that out as well. Okay, late edition today. Okay, had a couple things involved with this. Can't wait to get on board with this. I'm going to comprise, my record collection. Maybe weed out some, but to another section. I don't mean weed out in a bad way, because every record I possess, I love. I bought it for a reason, Okay. All right, so check out Derek and the Dominoes in concert. That's the name of the record. In concert, live at the Fillmore East. Like I said, this was recorded in '70, but released in '73. But yeah, this is it's a really, really good album. This is really VG plus condition. I got this at one of my favorite record stores over here in San Diego, East County Vinyl. Really good. Give them a shout out there. They have really good stuff there. Okay. RSO Records, distributed by Atlantic. And it has the old, I like it because it has the old, I believe it's still the old Atlantic in label. Oh no, it's actually RSO. Yeah, you can see the classic RSO label there. But it has the inner sleeves, original inner sleeves. I love that. I love looking at these because you got old records there that they showcase. That's how I found a lot of my records looking at this. Check them out. Oh, there you go. There's Layla and other assorted love songs. There it is. Okay. But yeah, check it out. Check out Derek and the Dominoes. Got to Get Better in a Little While. It's a great song. 17-minute, I believe. 14-minute song. Okay. All right, so I'll probably be showcasing some more live albums. This was a special episode, so I hope you liked it, and I'll see you on the next one. And again, keep spinning that vinyl.